What is up, YouTube? It is the Ville Outdoors here. Today is July 23rd of 2021. I am here at a spot I have never fished before. We're actually in the other side of Pennsylvania, not technically, but farther west than I normally go. We are at the Conestoga River that flows into the Susquehanna River right downstream here. And we're going to be doing a little bit of fishing and exploring today, seeing what we can see and maybe even catching a few things. To start, I'm going to try and catch some bass and other predatory fish species. I got my bait casting set up here, and I got tied on a little jerk bait here. That is from Ketchco. That is called the Hunch. It's got a little rattle to it, little weight. It'll sink down a bit, but it won't sink too far, hopefully. All right, guys, we're starting to move downstream a bit here. The Susquehanna River is that way. The Conestoga River carries up that way. And we're gonna try and cross the river here without dying. Just gotta feel around, make sure it's not too deep. And we should be a-okay. Using our rod as our feeler. Getting a bit deeper. Just gotta make sure there's no holes or anything like that we could fall into. I can see the bottom right here, so we're not in any danger. On this side of the creek, not creek, river. Gosh, I'm so used to fishing creeks, I just think everything's a creek now. This side of the river over here looks a little bit more shallow, and the guy that was actually mowing the grass back there, you might have heard the grass being cut in the background. He told me over on this side looks like a better spot to catch the bass. And that is what we were after. The water is a bit stained. I don't know if it's always like this or if it's just been a little cloudy, but might have to switch up to a brighter color bait here. Maybe a Chartreuse crankbait or something of sorts. Make a bit of a crucial bait switch here. I don't think this little jerk bait is sticking out enough in this water for these fish to see it. Don't have too much visibility, probably a foot and a half at most, maybe 2 feet. So I'm gonna make a bait switch. I'll show you guys what I'm using here in a second. And we got tied on here a little Chartreuse in black square bill crankbait. I think this is gonna be the one that's gonna catch us some fish today. Hopefully. Fingers crossed. I had a fish on there for a second. Turns out I snagged not one, not two, not three, but 4 different sinkers, it looks like. How about that? Oh, that was a big old fish, but it wasn't really fighting too hard. Go ahead and put that in the trash on our way out. First fish of the day coming up. Look at that monster. First smallmouth of the day. I did get him in the mouth, but he's also hooked on the side, and that's why he's bleeding a little bit. If he would calm down for me, I could save him. All right, guys, first smallmouth bass of the day there. Let's take a shot and release this guy. All right, guys, gonna toss back our little smallmouth here. Oh, back in the water. He's good to go. Came on that little crankbait there. I didn't even know I had anything on at first because he was so small, but he was there. Guys, we got a fish on here. This is a bit better one. Let's get him up. There we go. Now we're talking. That is what we were after right there, boys. That, it's not a huge smallmouth, but it's a quality one. There we go, guys. Got our little smallmouth bass unhooked here. Let's take a shot and let him go. Alright guys, time to let this guy go. I'm gonna try and walk out here with the rocks. Try not to slip. He is good to go. That guy, I was dragging the crankbait right up onto these rocks here, and he came up and hammered it pretty much right off the rocks. He must have been sitting right below them or right out from them. We got the current moving through here, and right here is a nice still pool where their fish aren't getting the current too much because these rocks are blocking it, and they're hanging out here so they don't have to waste their energy in the current. So they're right here. Came up right behind these rocks. See if we can get another here. All right guys, I've been fishing the main river here for about 2 hours now, and I only got those 2 smallmouth bass, both which came on this little Chartreuse crankbait right here. I'm about to take a little bit of a break from fishing the main river. There's a little stream that ventures off on the opposite bank, and we're going to try that with our normal creek fishing rod, which we have in the car. It's probably going to be a little bit of micro fishing, but we'll see what we can pull up, maybe even a new species, which would be cool. All right guys, I got the Tanago hook rigged up on my creek rod. There it is right there. Probably can't even see it. And we got a few worms, not as much as I hoped for, but it'll be enough to get us started. There's a few small fish right in front of me by these rocks that I'm going to try and target before I move over across the stream, and we'll see if we're able to get one of these guys. I'm not sure what they are, so we'll have to wait and see until they come up, if they decide to do so. All right guys, I was able to catch one of these guys. No clue what it is yet. There he is. He's super tiny. Let's get a few shots of this guy and let him go. It says here, no clue what species this is. Could be a swallowtail shiner, but a real tiny one. Let's go ahead and drop him back. Alright, he's good to go. Still got a little piece of our worm there, so let's try and get another one. There we go. Another one looks like the same species. Whole school of them, whatever it is. Dog wanted to say hi. Ones that was down there. Now I might be able to identify it by this. Oh gosh. Oh, come on. Could be a satin fin shiner. I don't see a spot on the tail, but we'll see. Sells another species here. Could just be a spot tail shiner. Possibly a Bluntnose Minnow as well. I'm not too sure on the identity. It kind of has the mouth like a Bluntnose Minnow. But we'll do some double checking and see what we got there. He's just gonna let himself go by himself. Alright guys, we made it to the stream. We got a school of something in front of us. I don't know if you'll be able to see it from this angle. But I'm gonna drop the worm in. See if we can get one of these guys to bite. There we go. Got something here. I think that's just an eastern blacknose dace. Well guys, we made it to the promised land, but it doesn't look so promising. I guess the Susquehanna is up pretty high right now. We got our designated fishing access here just down these steps, and out here we got the mighty Susquehanna River. We got no access signs over here, but over here we can fish. But look at that, it's all chocolate milk. All chocolate milk, which isn't going to be too good. But I'll give it a couple casts, see if it's worth anything. If not, then I'll have to find part 2 to this video somewhere else. I don't know if it's because all the water that's flowing out of the dam that's making it all stirred up like this, or if it's just been really high recently, or they're releasing more water than usual. Probably would have been smart to check the water levels before I decided to drive an hour and a half to get here. But it looks pretty cool. The view's nice, I'll give it that. But is the fishing going to be great? Probably not. Probably less than a foot of visibility. I'm going to try throwing this Chartreuse crankbait around, but if it doesn't work, it doesn't work. Not much we can do about it. To the spinnerbait, I was reeling it back in. I just got slammed by what I think was a walleye, but I'm not sure. If I catch a walleye, that'd be so cool. I've never caught one before, so I'm just going to do the same thing I was doing. Slow, steady retrieve, and let's see if we can make something happen. Guys, I don't know how much longer I'm going to be out here. It looks like they let out even more water from the dam because all this cloudy junk just flew in here. You guys can probably tell on the GoPro went till it's slightly cloudy to chocolate milk, and that is not good for fishing. There's not a whole lot of fishes other than like more of the bottom feeders that extremely tolerate this turbid stuff. So we're probably not going to get too many more bites, which stinks because I just got into this spot. I just had that bite from the possible walleye on the spinnerbait, and now they brought all this water up in here and we can hardly fish it anymore. Alright guys, we are on day 2 of this video. Right now we are fishing a creek. We got some suckers swimming around here, so it's not what we're going to be after today. We're going to be after anything that's not bottom feeding, unless there's some catfish that take the jig, then I'll take that. But yeah, we're at a new creek here. Have not fished this one before. New spot to me. Water is a lot clearer than it was in the first half of the video, so we're going to see what we can catch while wading this creek today. By first glance, it doesn't look all that great. It looks like more like a small fish stream, but we'll see if we can find some hidden gems here. Alright guys, we got ourselves our first fish of the day coming up here. We got ourselves a little Redbreast Sunfish. Tiny guys in this creek, but look at the colors on them. Very vibrant red on the fins there. Came on the brown trout magnet. I'm using a more natural color to accommodate the clear water. Alright, let's go ahead and throw this guy back in here. There he goes. Our second species of the day coming up here, and it is a little largemouth bass. Not a giant by any means, but it is our first bass from this creek. Nice little creek largemouth. Let's go ahead, take a shot, and let this guy go. Alright guys, time to release our little largemouth here. I was fluttering it in front of his face for about 3.5 minutes before we actually took the bait. I was fluttering it up off the bottom, and then I let it drop, and then he picked it up, and I pulled it up, and he was on there. Third species of the day here, a small guy, but that is a green sunfish. So we call it the redbreast and then the green sunfish now. Alright, time to let this little guy go. Hooked him on the outside of the mouth somehow. But there he is. Oh, there you go. There we go, guys. Yet another species here. We got ourselves a rock bass. So that is our 4th species of the day. Let's go ahead and take a shot. Let him go. That could be a mummy chog or a banded killifish. I'm not sure what type of fish it is. Take a shot, a few shots, and identify him later. But that might be a new species for me. That mummy chog slash banded killifish, whatever it was, I was chasing that one up the stream here for a good while before I was actually able to place the bait in front of its face and get him to bite. I actually had it on once and then it dropped, and then I just hooked him again. There was 2 bigger ones with it, but I don't know where they went. See if we can find them up the stream a bit farther. Alright guys, I finally caught a bigger one of one of the fish I was after. I think this could be a new species for me. Or maybe it's just a mummy chog. Oh boy. Might have to use this guy's bait. He's squirming way too much. That's either a mummy chog or a banded killifish. Oh my god, he's squirming so much. There he is, guys. Beautiful sample. I believe that's a banded killifish if I'm correct. But you'll know by the time the video goes live what it is. Got another one of these guys. Still unsure of what it is. Each one has a slightly more vibrant pattern or a little bit of a duller pattern. They all look slightly different. It depends which one of those between the mummy chog and the banded killifish, which one is in range. That will determine which one it is going to be, and then we can make our conclusion off of that. Right, guys, I ran out of bait, so that is going to do it for today's episode on the Ville Outdoors. We kind of rode the struggle bus just a little bit. Started off this video by fishing a new spot. It was like an hour and a half away, maybe a little extra, and made the mistake of not checking the water flows before I went there. Water was higher than normal. It was pretty much chocolate milk that I was fishing in, so we had to use bright baits in order to get bites. And I didn't catch the big fish that I wanted to catch. I didn't catch a new species there, and we had to end the day with just a few micro species and 2 smallmouth bass to show for our long drive. Did get a bite from a walleye though. That was pretty exciting, but unfortunately we couldn't hook it, and had to end the video there. Wanted to film a second part, which is why we came to this creek here today, and feel like I got enough content from the river, so we went to the creek here, which is nearby my house, part of the Schuylkill River drainage, not the Susquehanna that we were fishing in the beginning of the video. But it was kind of a struggle bus here too. Didn't catch a whole lot of fish, but we did have a good amount of diversity. We caught about 6 or 7 species of fish, and maybe a new species. I'll have to get confirmation on that. I think it was just a mummy chog, because I believe that's what I caught at the east branch of the Perkiomen Creek. That looked very similar, but we'll see. So thank you guys again for tuning into this video. If you're new here and you like what you see, feel free to leave a like and subscribe, and I will see you guys on the next episode of the Ville Outdoors.